Ekabo, and welcome to another stream of the Ifa Orisha tradition discussion. And before I start today's stream, let me open by offering the Iba. Opwen ni fun olorun, Olodumare Oba Ejiki, Mojiloni, Mowogun Meriaye, Iba Ila Orun, Iba Iwo Orun, Iba Ariwa, Iba Gusu, Iba Oba Egba Aye, Iba Orun Oke, Iba Baba, Iba Yeye, Iba Atiwo Orun, Iba She Igungun Kiki Igungun, Iba She Ori, Ori Inu, Ipori Atiwo Orun. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right, so today we are going to discuss some of the readings for the year, some aspects of the reading for the year. All right. This year we hosted our second annual EPA Festival in Woodford Square. We had very many leaders of the community participating in the annual festival. I believe it probably was the very first time that we've had such a large gathering of leaders from the various Ifa Orisha organizations in Trinidad. And of course, the challenges, after we met, we had the annual reading, we gathered, we all spoke of our various organizations, our aims, our objectives, and we all applauded the gathering of us all together as a sign of our unity. So the question becomes, for many of us, what's next? All right? And the guidance that we receive from IFA is what is going to guide us for the next 12 solar months or 13 lunar months until next year when we meet again for our annual reading. Now, the reading for the year was from Ogbe Irete. And Ogbe Irete speaks on many different subjects. But the aspect we're going to discuss today is the aspect of greater unity, which was one of the mandates that we received. All right? Now, unity has always been, for us, a very, very difficult subject. The reason for that being, among our people, because of the experience of slavery and the effects, the psychological effects of slavery in the diaspora among our people, unity has been a great, great challenge. But nonetheless, it is very important, and I believe this is the reason why IFA told us that we need to work towards greater unity. All right, I wrote an article that was posted on social media throughout most of the groups concerning greater unity. All right, and I'm going to read from that article and we're going to discuss some of the things that are mentioned in other essays that supports Ogbe Irete. All right, greater national unity for citizens and non-citizens means experiencing a safer, more predictable daily life where people treat each other with basic decency, regardless of differences. All right, I believe that is very clear, it's very self-explanatory. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some of the supporting essays that speaks on the subject of unity, but of course different aspects of unity. Osa Warin, all right, which is Osa Owori, speaks on the issue of teamwork. Now, the key lessons of unity that was expressed in Osa Owori speaks of strength in the foundation. Osa Owori teaches that the universe is an interconnected calabash where all energies rely on one another. When practitioners or communities unite with clear intentions, they anchor their foundation and attract blessings directly to them. All right, so let's just look into this a little bit. Now, having a clear vision of what is necessary for the interests of unity in the community must be had. We must have a clear vision and a clear intention. In other words, we must know what we are doing and why it is important for us to intentionally do things that would foster the unity that would attract the type of blessings that we need in our community. This clear intention and clear focus comes mainly through leadership and through every member or practitioner and the community in knowing and having the intent of producing the unity that is needed to bring about the various types of blessings. So in this article, what I did is I tried to simplify what we need to do into simple steps so that we could accomplish our goal through intentional, clear and intentional actions that are positive that would produce unity. So let me continue reading along the lesson of Osa Owori. Now here, a proviso or a warning is given concerning the negative impact of disunity or the danger of disunity. Escaping from problems or breaking away from the community creates a vacuum that invites chaos. IFA advises that attempting to solve communal issues by isolating oneself will only delay the inevitable and prolonged hardship. All right, so basically the danger of disunity is remedied by the members of the community, the practitioners, coming together to solve communal issues, not in a negative way, but in a positive, creative, productive way, uniting in order to find solutions. All right, the other point mentioned here is reliability and worthiness, all right, which are very, very important factors, because every devotee, every practitioner needs to be committed to what we refer to as developing themselves and advancing themselves through what we know as Iwa Pele. All right? Reliability and worthiness. To